Hello team, how you doing? It's Gavin here from the Growing Younger team. Let's get this camera sorted out. So today's video is about something that's been really popular over the last few months. I keep seeing it time and time again in videos and on posts on Facebook, and it's about intuitive eating, okay? And what I'm going to do, there's an article that popped up I'm going to just discuss with you guys. And the headline is, intuitive eating, go ahead, eat anything that you like. Now that is a really sort of, could be like a damaging kind of statement for a lot of people, because people struggle so much with weight loss and knowing what to eat properly. And if you're going to tell people to intuitively eat, they will intuitively eat based on what they already know, okay? I'll put it this way. If you're overweight, as I used to be, I was intuitively eating all of my life. And I was overweight because I was intuitively eating, obviously, because I had no better point of reference, because I'd never been able to solve the problem. So firstly, I want to talk to you about what intuition means, okay? The actual definition meaning from Uncle Google. And it is the ability to understand something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning, okay? So there's no reason, it's being able to just understand it, okay? And the problem with that is that if you don't understand something first, you can't be intuitive about the thing. Does that make sense? I'll give you an example, right? So if I said to you, you need to bump up your vitamin C, okay? You would likely, out of all the fruits, choose an orange, because orange has more vitamin C than what you believe, okay? Intuition will tell you that, and intuition is based on what you've been told in the past, what you've read, what you kind of understand. In actual fact though, broccoli, gram for gram, has more vitamin C than oranges. So if you're trying to up your vitamin C, and you're intuitively eating oranges, you're wrong, because you should be eating broccoli. And now you know that, I've just told you that, you'll be able to eat broccoli, and you know that it's more. And if you don't believe me, you can Google it, right? So that's the problem with intuitive eating, because unless you've got a point of reference, then you're not able to intuitively do it right, because you don't just know, you don't just instinctively know. And for me now, being lost my way over 10 years ago, okay, see if I can pop up a photograph for you guys if you haven't seen it. I can intuitively eat now, because I understand the basics of nutrition. I know what my plate should look like. I know what the foods with high protein are in and everything else. So I can do it. But even then, I kind of need to keep myself in check sometimes. Okay. So as we go through this thing, okay, I'm just going to go through and talk about it. So intuitive eating, for arguments, for interest, the hashtag has popped up 1.5 million times on Instagram posts. Okay, massive, viral, all over the place. Okay. And celebrities are jumping on board. And the problem with celebrities is that they have a lot of sway, okay? People look up to them, they're role models. And when somebody tells you about to do something, people will follow along with the celebrity, okay? And that isn't always right, because celebrities are celebrities, they're actors, they're not nutrition experts, they're not fitness experts. And if you follow them, it may not be right for you, and you'll end up disappointed. That is a problem with social media, okay? Now, so like the intuitive eating movement, I get it, okay? I can see it from a mental health point of view, because what they're saying is moving the scale isn't the goal. And I kind of agree to a point, okay? People should not be obsessed with the weighing scales, because the problem with that is, you know, your self-worth is not attached to the numbers on the scale. They're just numbers on the scale. If I was to drink this 330 milliliter can of Diet Coke, I would weigh 330 milliliters more than I am now. So if you've had a high salt meal and you hold a bit of water, or you've had a heavy meal the day before and you weigh and it's high, you get upset. We all do it. And intuition is telling you that you're not worth what you should be, because the scales tell you something different. So I understand moving the scale isn't the goal, and I kind of agree to a point. But if you're obese and if you're carrying lots of weight and you've got a lot of weight to lose, then the scale should be a valid way of measuring your progress. And it could be the goal, it should be the goal, because you know how track you are. So when you're measuring on the weighing scales, you're keeping a track of how much you weigh and how successful you're being on your journey, okay? And ultimately, when you lose weight, your health improves by default, okay? Inflammation goes down, you get more energy. You know, your insulin response is better. There's lots of things happen when you lose weight. So absolutely, it should be part of the goal, as well, as long as you're tracking properly and you're measuring yourself as well, because that's important. But ultimately, if you're very, very overweight, the scales are going to be a really good way to do that, okay? Now, you won't, so what they say is that you can eat anything you like without guilt, okay? Intuitively. So intuition will, or intuitively, will depend on your mood as well. So if you've been doing tons of exercise, you're going to be really hungry, okay, then you'd eat more. But your calorie expenditure is high, therefore you eat a bit more, and it's actually not too bad. But if you're not exercising and not eating healthy in a way, what they're saying is that you can eat whatever you want, and you're not always going to want the whole pizza. You're not always. But if you're in a bad mood, or if you're upset, you're an emotional eater, you will eat the whole pizza, because you're not eating from hunger. You're eating because you're fulfilling an instant craving, an emotional need that you need to feel better in the moment, and you do that with food. And if you're overweight now and these are the things that's happening, it's because you're intuitively doing it. You've got no point of reference. And that is why sometimes you need to logically look at this thing and track this thing to the numbers. Because if I said you need to intuitively save for your retirement, unless you understand how much money you need to retire on, then you could be way wrong. If you're putting $1 a week away, over the course of whatever, it's going to be whatever much it is, but actually you need to put $10 away to be able to live in the lifestyle that you want. And intuition isn't a good way to do it, because we're really bad at it. And if you've got no point of reference, and if you've never learned, then you're not going to be able to be intuitive enough to get the result that you want, and you will be disappointed. You could end up putting lots of weight on as well, which is really frustrating, because you're doing what these people are saying, intuitively eating, but it's not working, okay, because you don't understand why the weight loss process works in the first place. So put this into context. They talk about eating as a key element of culture. Of course it is. We get together, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all religious festivals, you get together and eat, okay? But if you know what foods are better than others, for fact, i.e. broccoli has more calcium, has more vitamin C than oranges, you can make better decisions because you're educated and all right? And when you're listening to other people doing that and you're not on track, you're going to end up being very, very disappointed. And if you can go to a social function and you can literally, pick the best foods out of the whole bunch and still maintain your weight and your weight loss, that's a really good thing for you as well, right? So, and then it goes down in this article, and I'll put the article down below, you can read it. It says you may need some help, okay? For sure, of course you do. And what they're saying is, they're talking about a coach nutritionist may get you to journal your food. I get journaling, that's cool, you can see what you're doing, but if you're intuitively doing it wrong from the start, you're going to be intuitively doing it wrong forever. So a nutrition coach can help you with that. Now I'm a big believer in, with your diets, is changing your diet to make it familiar to where you are now. So if you're eating whatever, we all eat every single day, right? If you can reduce the calories just a little bit, you can lose weight. And if you're eating fish and chips every night, then eat less fish and chips every night. Instead of buying deep fat fried chips, make almond chips instead to decrease the calories, okay? If instead of using deep fried fish batter, you can pan fry it or grill it or whatever. By doing those little things, you're getting a food that's familiar, that you like, but it's cooked differently, reducing the calories. That is all you need to do, okay? So, and they're saying, don't worry about it, be happy. Yeah, I get that, you should be happy. You should absolutely be happy in your own skin as well. And just because you're overweight doesn't actually mean you're anything, you're worthless. It just means you're heavier than you should be. And that when you lose weight, you will feel better because you're attributing weight loss to being healthy, which is cool, I get that. But intuitively eating, unless you have a point of reference and a good understanding of what you need to do, then you're always going to struggle. So what I recommend you do, guys, is literally start tracking your food. And I mean tracking calories, because this weight loss is a calories game. And if you can understand how many calories you need to lose weight, then you will be intuitively know. So let's just say you got 1,500 calories per day. If you know and you plan over a course of a week or two that what you're eating is 1,500 calories, you'll intuitively look at the plate and go, that is about 400 calories, that is about 600 calories. And once you know that, you can make good intuitive decisions, all right? Now I had one of my clients from a long time ago. He was eating healthy, okay, healthy. Everyone says that eating healthy, but they're intuitively eating healthy and it's not necessarily the right thing. That's why a coach helps you with it. And what he was doing was he was having a healthy shake for breakfast. Brilliant. What was in a healthy shake? Berries, peanut butter, bananas, milk. When we added this together and weighed out everything, it was nearly 800 calories, okay? He was intuitively eating healthy because that's what he thought he knew, but he wasn't taking into account the actual calories of the meal. Therefore, it was a huge meal. Then he was having a pie for dinner, then he was having some snacks for thing, and then he's having a couple of beers at night. 3,000 calories, he was 20, 30 kilos overweight. Because he's intuitively doing it, he's doing what he thought was right, but he wasn't, because he didn't understand that he's calories in, calories out. He didn't understand that that the foods are healthy behind calories, and therefore his calorie expenditure didn't match what he was taking in. Does that make sense? So the message is for you guys, you can be intuitive when you eat as long as you understand the basics of nutrition, and then you can make positive, educated decisions based on those things. Okay, because if you have no idea, and as the intuition meaning says, is to understand something instinctively without the need for conscious reasoning. If you don't consciously understand it at a logical level, then you're never going to be able to understand it instinctively. You just will not, okay? And I'll say to people all the time, how much does this potato weigh? And they'll go 100 grams, 150 grams, 200 grams. Everyone will get it different. And they're intuitively thinking about it. They've got no idea. They're always wrong every single time. Sometimes they underestimate, sometimes they overestimate. Either way is not going to be helpful for you. But if you can measure it, you'll be right. Same with your talk about your pension and your life savings. Okay, if you've got a financial advisor to help you with your savings, who can tell you how much you need to save for how long to get the result that you want, you will then intuitively understand how many, on a good week and a bad week, of how much you're spending, how much is going out. You'll know if you're doing well or not. But ultimately, it comes down to profit and loss statement. Track what's in, track what's out, debt, savings, credit cards, know all those things. Okay, same with your food. If you understand what's going in, you can understand what's going out. You can manage your weight. That's my take on intuitive eating. I'll leave the link down below for you to have a look at. But ultimately, okay, figure out for yourself. You have to, or even better, if you think that we may be able to help you with the Growing Younger program, there's a link down below. You can express an interest, and if you do, we can have a chat. It's not a hard sell. If you think that we can help you, like we help many people, we will happily have that discussion. Have a really good day, guys. Take it easy, and I will speak to you again. See ya. Bye.